Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, November 6th. Welcome to the Greater Victoria Real Estate Show. I'm Jane Johnston, and I'm here with
Jen Lowe, mortgage broker with Dominion Lending Center, Modern Mortgage Group. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How's it going?
Good, very good. Very busy right now, actually.
Oh, with refinancing still, or?
Yes. Yeah, lots of refinancing and inquiries just with regards to the drop in the overnight lending rate and whether or not variable rate is a good choice now versus fixed.
And what are you finding? Are people going for foreclosures? You mentioned that a few weeks ago. Are we seeing more pre-foreclosure?
Not me personally, those kind of situations I have not seen. Actually, no, I have seen one. Yeah, I think there is a little bit of that coming down the pipeline. Yes.
So
Yeah.
how long between when they see you and they realize, oh my God, I can't qualify for a new rate, and they get to the point where they're in foreclosure? Are you seeing that?
It depends on the lender. Like banks, it's a long process. Whereas private lenders or alternative type lenders, it can happen very quickly.
Right, because
Yeah.
the bank may give them a chance and the private lender's like, pay up now.
Yeah, and it just takes a longer time. I mean, banks take longer with everything. Nothing happens fast in the banking world, right? So yeah, so the whole process does take longer in the bank.
Okay, interesting. Okay, well, I do find we're going to see what's going to be happening with the market. That's what we're talking about today. So we're going to do our monthly statistics update, and we'll do our weekly update as well. We'll actually just start with our weekly update. But first, I was wondering, anything exciting happening in your world in terms of mortgages?
Well, there was a big federal budget that was dropped. That apparently it is one of the largest federal budgets in years. 78 billion in new debt to try and supercharge the housing, infrastructure, and job markets. So we will see how that affects us. It could be very interesting. Change apparently is coming fast. So we'll have to see the effect.
Yeah, and I believe they're going to be spending a lot of money on the military as well. So that's another war makes money for some people, I guess, is one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not heading in that direction, although we do have to, I guess, look at our defenses and stuff like that.
Yes.
So
yeah,
we'll
exactly.
see. Well, on a political note, I noticed that in the US, a few cities actually voted in some mayors, so who were Democrats. So that's interesting to me. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
We were watching that last night as well in New York. The person, I can't remember off the top of my head what his name was, but
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I think that was kind of expected, but definitely interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. All right, so let's just look at the weekly stats, and then we'll get into the monthly stats. So 7-day Victoria Market Watch, we had 227 new listings in the past week. 149 went pending, and we had a decrease of 149 as well, which is interesting to me. So, and expireds are at 57. And the list to sale ratio is 65%. I don't have it for the week before because we actually don't have enough days in the month. So it won't, but that looks promising. You were going to say something?
Well, I'm curious. I just recently had some clients within the last few days, and they wanted to make an offer on a property, but the seller would not accept subject to the sale of their property. And I was kind of surprised.
It depends when you're the listing agent and when you're the seller, you have to see how long the property is being on the market because early on, if you go a subject to sale, you're not likely to get any other buyers interested because they know that there's an accepted offer. And but later on in the process, yes, you can definitely get a subject to sale because the seller wants it sold and they're willing. You're depending on a third party, so they're willing to depend on the third party, and that's the buyer of the buyer's property.
Got you. Interesting. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, but you're more likely to get your price if you have a subject to sale because the buyer is willing to pay more money because they don't want to be bumped. Their offer can be.
Right. See, in your world, our worlds are similar but so different. Everything it depends.
In my world, you mean? Yes.
Yeah. In your, like this situation versus this situation. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. All right.
All right. So for the month of October, we saw a huge increase in the number of properties sale in the last week. So we had 617 net unconditional sales. I'm going to show you where those happened. That's compared to 654. So we were at something like 555 last week. So that's a big jump, up 10% in 1 week. New listings were at 1,131. That's compared to 1,204 for October of last year. And overall, the total active listings for the end of October were 3,423. And that's up over last year as well. Again, about 10%. So there we go. All right, let's do the monthly market update. Let's dig in, shall we?
Sounds
so
good.
Tell me what you see when you look at this. Do you see somebody lying on their back?
I see a roller coaster.
Okay, so what we're seeing are actual market fluctuations. So the number of listings on the market is dependent on the time of year. And with showing times, so we were talking about moving times with the moving company, Provincial Moving. But also with showings, we actually have less showing time in the winter because people have to get in essentially before the end of their workday. So it's just a little harder to look at the moment. So what that means also is people are getting into holidays, and after Halloween, things tend to slow down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you find that in your industry. Like, do you find most people have mortgage renewals like from March to October?
No, not necessarily. I mean, more like refinancing in like November, December, January. Less purchases for sure, but more refinancing. So it kind of balances out.
Well, we are, again, balancing out because the number of listings to the number of new listings is coming down, and the total active listings is therefore coming down. So we're around 3,400 now, and this is about where we were last year. Sorry, we're heading in the direction of where we were for December last year, I expect, but probably not quite as far down.
Quite as low.
Yeah. All right, so this is always an interesting curve because the top one is the total new listings that come on every month. And the bottom line is the total MLS sales. And we can see we have these two humps that happen in the market. We have our spring market that usually peaks in May. And then we have our winter market that usually peaks in October. And we did see that at the end of October this year, another little peak, but not quite as high again as last year. So things are kind of smoothing out. I feel like we're less rocking and rolling, maybe less reactive to what's happening in the States. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. We did have a big banner month in September, almost 1,600 new listings, which is unusual. I remember during COVID, we had at 2021, for September, October, November, we had 800 listings and 800 sales every month. And it was like, so.
Yeah, crazy times. Yeah,
I mean, normal.
Uncertainty. Oh, yeah. Uncertainty makes people just put the brakes on. And I feel like that uncertainty is really subsiding.
Yeah, I think also hopefully the budget will do good things for us. And I feel that, maybe there'll be more certainty as maybe we have more east-west exchange of goods rather than north-south, and we become dependent within our country.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's interesting is we headed from a buyer's market more into a seller's market directionally, not totally. So we're still in a fairly balanced market between 17 to 28%. We are around 22%, I believe. And so we're in that range, but we're coming up from a low in the summer. And I definitely felt that it was slow in August and September, and that's reflected here. And as we look at the sales, we'll see that there are sort of two sectors that did very well this past month. So single family homes is one of them. And if you look at the line that's trending, we were at 1.25 in October of 2023. And we were kind of a little fluctuating, ending up in the same place last year, but we have come up definitely this year in single family homes. I feel that people are preferring them. Are you finding that?
Preferring single family home over like a condo or a town. Yeah. Yep. I mean, because even with what's interesting is the square footage of a lot for a single family home has really changed over the years too, right? And I do find that interesting that, what the minimum square footage used to be versus what it is now is very different.
Yeah. So it used to be around 6,000 square feet on average. And now, especially in the West Shore, it can get down to 3,200, 3,300.
Right. But you're getting a detached home for that as opposed to having strata fees and that kind of thing as well.
Yeah. So you're more house and less property.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We did have a busy spring. It felt like it was quiet at the beginning and then it picked up and felt like steady, and we're seeing this here steady over the summer months. And then October did feel busy. Like I have a crappy house in Oak Bay. I'm getting a lot of showings on and I'm getting a lot of offers on it. So
interesting.
And it's right in this price range. Yep.
Huh.
Okay. So condos have been riding the roller coaster for the past 2 years. We did peak in February, which I think actually, if we look at when the sale actually happened at the end of 2024, and then it completed in February 2025. Yeah. And then they've just gone gangbusters this past month. So between September and October, we saw an average price go up of $50,000. So that's good.
That's wild. Huh. I guess people are now, their affordability has increased because interest rates have come down, perhaps.
Yeah, and it could be like this is an average, so it might be more high-end properties as well.
Okay.
I'd have to look. I actually can figure that out if I wanted to. When I looked at where the hot areas were in the city, Saanich East, Langford, and Colwood, and Saanich West. So that, and Sydney, which kind of is interesting to me. So not Esquimalt.
Yeah.
So row townhouses, we all talk about the fact that we don't have a lot of inventory in row townhouses, and we are seeing them kind of languishing. Feels like a very slow market.
Interesting.
And they tend to have larger strata fees. Some people go for townhouse over a house because they don't want to maintain the outside and the strata. Many hands make light work. They can hire a professional. They pay a fee. And the fees are getting up around $600 a month. So you're paying for the privilege to live with others and under their rules. And for peace of mind, especially when you're getting older, it can be easier.
Right.
You don't have to mow that lawn.
Right.
Okay, so I did look at single family benchmark prices. And in North Saanich, we have an improvement of 0.1% year over year. So we're at 1,464. Sydney went down to 1,016,000. And Central Saanich went up 1.4% from 1.168 to 1.185. So this is the ideal home in these areas. This is a theoretical benchmark. And then for single family homes, Saanich East, just less than 1%. So we're at, this can't be right. The Saanich East number is incorrect. Saanich West is at 1,031,000, and that's compared to 1,057,000 year over year, so up 2.6%. And View Royal's at 3.8% up year over year, so 1,039,000 up from up to 1,079,000. And then Esquimalt, it's come up. It used to be kind of the poor part of the city, and I don't think it is anymore.
No.
So it's at 1,063,000, and that's up 2.3%. And then Victoria itself, I cannot read because it's beyond the slide. But it was in October 2024 at 1,002,057, and it's down at 1,190,000, so down 5.4%. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Oak Bay went down as well from 1.858 to 1.726. So I would love to have a chat with the people at the Victoria Real Estate Board to figure out the relationship of all these numbers, to be honest, to see how they relate to the actual averages and median prices.
Yes.
They're different. Hold on a second. I'm just going to see if I can actually find that. I don't have it handy on me, but the number there for the Saanich East, I believe that's the condo number. So let's just check. Okay, and then in the West Shore, we're finding townhomes versus condos. So we're looking townhomes in North Sydney went up 5.6%, Central Saanich up 4.1%, but condos in North Saanich went down 8.4%. Sydney, they went down 1.4%, and Central Saanich, they went down 8.8%. So condos have been not doing so well compared to townhomes in the peninsula, which is interesting to me. I have been looking at a lot of townhomes, and I did have a townhome listing for a while. And I do find that people are a little bit pickier there, I guess, because they're older. So, all right. And then this is benchmark prices in the core. So Saanich East for townhomes, the benchmark price is 902, and that's up 1.3%. In Saanich West, it's also up 1.3% to 796. And in View Royal, it's around 821,000. It's down 2.1%. Esquimal's down 2.8%. It's 762. And I have found recently there's some great deals in Esquimal for townhomes and half duplexes. And then Vic West, we're down at 5.2%.
It's a big difference from a price point from a townhome to a condo.
Yeah. Yeah. So like usually I find condos are about 50% of the price of a single family home on average. And townhomes tend to be about 75%. So it's not so bad when we look at it that way. The condos here, the biggest price drop is in Saanich West at biggest price increases at Saanich West at 3.5%. That's interesting. And then Esquimal at 4.2%. And they're both around the mid fives. So it's an affordable way to get into housing.
Most definitely.
Anyway, Victoria and Oak Bay, they're both down around 1% in condos. Oak Bay condos tend to be older, and some of them are also co-ops, so they can be a little harder to finance. So I can see this being true. And then Santa is around the same. It's just up 1%. So there you go. Any comments overall about what I've covered very quickly?
I love stats. It's really, honestly, it tells and explains what we're seeing. Right? I mean, the stats don't lie.
It's true. Although, yeah, it's, the one way that I chat with my clients is I give them a lot of stats so that they're informed, especially so that if they're writing an offer or anything, that they're, they're in the know. And when they're selling, I definitely let them know what's going on. Yeah, because you're right. They don't lie.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. So Andrew should be back in a week or two. He's with the Vibe at Royal LePage. If you want to reach him, his number is 250-360-6106. And his email is info@andrewplank.com. And you can reach him at his website at andrewplank.com. And Jen, how do people reach you with your barking dog?
Yes, my apologies. I am at 250-217-4925, Jen at jenlo.ca. And my website is jenlo.ca.
All right. And if you guys want to reach me, my number is 250-744-0775. You can reach me by email at jane@briarhillgroup.com, or you can visit our website at briarhillgroup.com. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at realtyteacher_Remax_Victoria. And you can see me work out. We are going to be moving the time, by the way, in a couple of weeks. So right now we're on Thursdays at 9:30, but we will be moving it to Tuesday mornings, and we'll confirm that when that happens. And in the meantime, if you want to follow us, you can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, the Greater Victoria Real Estate Show. We also have, we're on podcasts all around town. Anywhere that you listen, we're there, and we release episodes weekly. And please forward them to friends that you know and who need this information. All right. Anything else?
Sounds good. All's good.
All's good. Okay. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day. Bye.